Where do you even start when you're thinking about buying a house? All right, well, this is sort of a funny thing for me to say, but you don't start with me. You don't start with a realtor. Now, I know no one wakes up in the morning and thinks, oh, I cannot wait to get a home loan. That's what I really want. No, people wake up and they think, all right, we need a new house. But you can't start with a realtor. You've got to start with a lender. You need to know how much you can spend before you can figure out if it makes sense to move. And very rarely do I find that people start with the lender. It's so important. There is 0 point in talking to me until you've gotten from your lender how much you can spend. And does it make any sense? You don't go shopping without knowing how much you can spend. You don't just go, hey, I want to buy a new car, so I'm going to head over to the Maserati dealer. No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go anywhere without finding out how much you had to spend. You're checking your credit, figuring out what monthly payment you could afford or how much you can pay in cash for a car. You figure that out before you go shopping. It's critical that you figure out how much you can spend before you go shopping. And getting to a lender will give you what you need in the fastest way possible. And so here's the deal with that. I don't care if you are thinking that you're not going to be moving for 2 years. Fabulous. Apply for a loan tomorrow. I don't care when you think of it. If you are even thinking buying a home is in your future, great. Start with a lender tomorrow. Why? Because they'll pull your credit, they'll get all your financial information, and they'll tell you what you can afford today. I know, but I don't want to buy for 2 years. No problem. But see what you could afford today. That way you know what you need to do over the next 2 years to be able to afford what you want to buy. Maybe you find out that you can actually buy a house today and you don't have to wait 2 years. That's possible. I've seen that happen way more frequently than the other side. The other side is, oh, you find out that your credit is trash or that you can't buy for another 2 years. No problem. But now you have 2 years to work on your credit. If you have questions about how to repair your credit, by the way, you should message me. I've got a fantastic, cheap, definite way to get your credit repaired. And over the 6 to 8 months, we can increase your score, I don't know, a bunch. There's no number I can promise anybody, but I have seen over 100 points in a year reliably. Without seeing your credit, I can't promise that, but I've seen that happen. And if you have questions about that, let me know. But it does take a year or so. So if you're not thinking about buying for 2 years, great, let's get started today on getting your credit worked out. Or maybe you know that you need more down payment saved up because you've gone to a lender and they've shown you what's available, and you've then gone to me and you said, all right, here's what I can spend, and we show you what you can spend, and it's nothing that you would want to live in. Great news. Now you can spend the next year saving money for a down payment. Maybe you decide no more lattes. Every other day, the $5 I was going to spend on lattes goes into an Acorn account, and we're just going to build down payment. Great. But you know that now, so that you, over the next 2-3 years, you can do something about it. No, you want to start with a lender today. If you need a list of lenders you should call, let me know. I've got great partners in that world. Let me give you a quick tutorial of where not to go, okay? You don't want to go to any of the Rocket Mortgages of the world, any of the online Costco, any of the weird internet lenders. Why? Because first of all, the value proposition there is insane. Okay, the value proposition of Rocket Mortgage is basically, let's turn getting a home loan into ordering an Uber, right? Push a couple buttons on your phone. That is an insane value proposition. That value proposition makes no sense. Why? Because ordering an Uber is $20 and you do it 100 times a year and it's not a big deal. And what happens if the Uber doesn't show up or the Uber goes to the wrong address, which how many times does that happen? Plenty. No problem. You can correct that fairly easily. It wasn't a big costly mistake. You're going to take a $500,000 purchase and try with one of the most complex, emotionally impactful, expensive purchases in your life and try and turn it into a Grubhub order? No. That is an insane value proposition. You don't want to make it simpler. You want to get educated. You want to find out more. You want to find someone who's going to take the time to educate you so you can make the best possible decision. That's how you want to run your real estate transaction, okay? So stay away from the app-based lending. Don't get online about that. That's craziness, okay? You want a lender you can sit down with face-to-face, Zoom call, personal interaction, and then you want to get a lender that can talk to the underwriting department. You want to avoid big banks. You want to avoid credit unions, not really great either, particularly. Not the worst, but the big banks, the Chases, the Wells Fargos, no, stay away, stay away, stay away. Horrible. Why? Because the underwriters are in some basement in Omaha or New York or something crazy, and the lender you talk to in the bank can't work with the underwriter. Now, you want to get a local, someone who only writes home loans, right? Some, mortgage-based or correspondent lender, someone who only writes home loans, right? Fairway, Caliber, anyone like that, right? If you have questions about your lender, the one you would prefer, message me and I'll figure it out with you. But those are the people you want to go to. Small banks, like Home Street in Seattle, great local bank would be great. They do this all the time. That's fine. But the point is you want someone who's going to give you personalized one-on-one service to get that done. Someone who you can actually talk to. Why? Because this is the most expensive transaction you're ever going to have. Okay. You want to start with someone who's going to actually be there with you through the whole transaction. The bigger the institution, the less likely they are to provide that service. So if you're going to buy a home, ever, tomorrow, today, when you're watching this, stop, get yourself pre-approved. There is no downside to getting pre-approved now. None, not one downside, nothing. Even, it's going to cause an inquiry on my credit. No problem. You're going to have to get pre-approved sometime, and if it's not for 2 years, no problem. That inquiry will go away. There's nothing bad that happens by finding out what's so now. So if you need someone that you can trust to find out what you can afford today so you can start building toward getting a home in the future, let me know. I'm happy to provide that with you. Let me know if you have any questions. Aaron Hendon with Christine & Company over at eXp Realty. Talk to you soon.